All right, we are back with Lisa Floryshak, who is the Assistant Professor of Art at ASU-Beebe, and she's here to tell us about some of the programs offered there, which it sounds like a fabulous department to teach in, Lisa.
Fun.
Yeah, we were talking earlier and all the projects that you get to work on. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to talk about this. So just explain generally, how is your art department different from other community colleges?
Well, I think we strive to involve our community as much as possible, and we have some community fundraising events and community activities. We also, as a department, because there's two of us, we go on cross-curricular field trips, sometimes with other universities. We just finished one at Archaeological State Park not too long ago.
Oh, wow, fun.
And Lakeport Plantation as well. So, and then we really strive to give students opportunities to build their resume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll talk about some of those opportunities here in a second, but what are some of those most interesting projects that you feel like you've worked on with your students the past year or semester?
Oh, well, I always love the semester when I'm teaching 3D design because it brings science and engineering into the art world. And my class this semester has worked on some interesting things. One being they had this paper engineering project where they had to build a sculpture that was the size of them times their width times any dimension, that was entirely built out of paper, with glue only being allowed to attach one seam, not tubes of paper to each other. Sheets of paper could not be attached to each other. They could only be attached to themselves.
Right.
Another project that was fascinating to me was we designed outfits that were based on Met Gala, and they had to design an ensemble complete with accessories made completely out of paper, based on something that they found inspiring from that particular event.
Yeah, there's a picture of one right there. That's incredible. And I love that you are really passionate about reusing materials too for these projects, right?
I think part of that is just playing into the demographic. You know, the students don't tend to have a lot of money to spend on art supplies, so why not reuse things and show them that they can work from objects that they might not know that could be art materials. You know, when they get out of school, they're not going to always have the best, but they still need to know how to make things.
Yes. No, I think that's great to know for sure. What do you think is the most surprising thing that students may learn in your class?
Well, in my photo class, I'm surprised when they realize that photos can be art. They can be art objects, or they can be historical documents, and I have them complete a cross-curricular activity where they're using the National Park Service HALS competition, or the Historic American Landscape competition, and they complete a historical document complete with the photos, the 10 photos that they need to take for that. And I give them the opportunity to file with the National Park Service if they want to, which is as a resume builder as well. But it also gives them insight into the history of where they're at and what they've gives them a little research activity that is not necessarily, research your favorite artist.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely about the resume building. That's key to. Why would you encourage a student to take an art class, especially there at ASU-Beebe?
Well, I know why art is important to me, and part of it is knowing how to think in a different, people think in different ways.
Sure.
Right? So it's accessing that cross-curricular modality. It's also encouraging their critical thinking skills and reinforcing them. And it also brings some beauty into their life, I think.
Yeah, a fun fact that I have to say before we close out this interview, Lisa, is that it says our department has the best potlucks on campus.
Oh, yeah, they do have the best potlucks on campus. And I'll tell you that, we do things like make grilled cheese outside over our fire pit, you know, in a waffle iron. So
I love it. So if anything, go visit the art department at ASU-Beebe to have great food. Lisa, it sounds like great things are happening in that department. Definitely widening the horizons of students taking those classes.
Come and take a class.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. All right, after this break, we talked to an instructor of the Computerized Machining Technology program and a recent graduate of that program to learn about opportunities in the industry. Stay with us.